Hello, my name is Ruth and this is Fay Hollow Homestead. Today I am going to be planting a crepe myrtle. The crepe myrtles really love to have the sun. They love kind of sandy soil. This is the sunniest area that I have in my gardening spot around my house. Today I need to move a fig tree that I have planted, and it is so small that you can hardly even see it in the grass right now. But I'm going to move it over because I wasn't expecting to get this crepe myrtle. It was a surprise gift from my mother. I'm going to move that over and kind of rearrange my idea of what I was doing there. Why am I doing this in the afternoon, midday, hottest time of the day, hottest time of the year? Because this is the only chance that I have. I have a baby, a toddler, kids that are currently arguing with each other quite a lot. And so this is the only time I have, and I need to take advantage of it while I can. Chances of me being able to do it once the evening comes around are low. So I'm going to be sweating a lot. I don't recommend you doing this in the midday. I recommend doing it in the morning. I tried this morning, it didn't work. I recommend you also trying to do it in the evening. And I have little hope of that because I've been trying to do that for the past couple days and it didn't work either. So I'm doing it now because it needs to get done. But if you're going to do something like this where you're planting things, midday is not an ideal time to do it. It's just extra stress on the plant. Okay, so here's my hole that I dug. Normally, you'd want to dig it about 3 times the width of the pot that you're putting in, but what I'm doing is a little bit less because this soil here is just riddled with rocks, and I just can't get the shovel to go down deeper or farther out than this, okay? So about 3 times the width. I put the pot in to make sure that it's the right level. And if you see that my hand's flat with the grass on the outside, and it's pretty much flat with that. Now it's a little bit lower, but I've got this, there's my fig I planted. I've got this compost that I'm gonna be putting in, so it's gonna fill up the hole just a little bit. And if you see, filling that in right there. And I'm gonna spread that out. And then I'll put some more of that on top after I put it in. But now I'm going to dump this out and put it in the hole. So if you'll see, when I take the pot here, I put my hand at the base of the stalk of the crepe myrtle. And I tip it over and I support it using the base where the soil is. I don't pull the plant straight out of the pot, and that's really important because you can damage the plant when you do that. And then I set it in and I turn it the way that I think it will look most beautiful, give it some good watering, and then start covering it with dirt. And when I put dirt back into the hole, I like to take the pieces that have grass and then put the grass down so that it composts and adds a little bit extra nitrogen and nutrients to the area where the plant is. And now I'm doing that all around. I'm going to put a little bit of compost on top as well, and then spread that around. And then, very importantly, I'm going to step on it and make sure that there's no holes that I've left, no big gaps where air can get in. Big gaps of air is exactly what you need in order to kill the roots as well. So just finishing putting the dirt around it, and okay, here we are stepping on it and really patting down the soil really nicely all around. Don't be afraid to be too rough here. You can really just step on it a lot, and really get it tucked in nice. Okay, so here's the crepe myrtle. If you notice, I clipped off all the flowers and the berries that were on it. I was trying to video it, but for some reason the video didn't work, so I must not have pushed the button properly. The point when you plant this is to get the roots to grow really well, right? And so when you're planting it, you don't want it to worry about flowering or producing seeds. So you can trim it so that there are no more buds or seeds being formed. It'll focus on really growing out that root ball as much as possible. And then later on, once it's stronger, then it can start putting out the blooms again. And now, if you also notice, I kind of built a little bit of a berm here. We're on a hill. It's definitely slanted. And I want to kind of trap water when it rains. And it's been raining every single day here lately. In fact, it's probably going to rain pretty soon. So when I water it, and then when it rains, I want the water to instead just wash down the hill. I want to kind of keep it here. If this was on flat ground, I would build the berm all around it so the water would stay right here until this gets firmly established. Goodness, it's hot. Sweating like crazy. So another thing is when you're planting a root ball, if you pull out the plant from the pot and it's not fully root bound, it's best not to mess with the roots too much. They've done a bunch of studies on this. I know we've always been messing with the roots and spreading them out in order to put them in, and they've discovered that it actually does more harm than good. And so it's stressful enough putting the plant in a new location, in a new hole, in a new place. What you want to do is definitely not disturb the roots as much as possible unless it's completely root bound, and then go ahead and get some of those free. Okay, so I've got this put in. I'm going to put some mulch around it a little bit later, and then see how close it is to this one. I want it kind of, I want them touching, and so according to how big this one gets and how big this one is going to be, this is going to be the right amount of room. If you just look at the back of the tag, it's going to tell you how far away it should be from other things. And so this is how I want it. I want it a little bit closer than normal, and so it's a little bit closer than what it says. But this is going to grow taller, and this will fill in near the base, and so there will be room. Okay, that does it, which I'm really glad for, because oh my goodness, it is hot out here, and I still got to do some weed whacking and stuff like that around the property. But I'm ready to go splash some water on my face. My goodness. Okay, so crepe myrtles are really great. This is pushing it here with where we are. We're zone 6B, and usually they're zone 7 or higher. But considering the fact that it's in the sun all the time, and it's right next to a rock wall right here, and we've got all these rocks kind of producing heat during the winter, I think that it should be okay. We'll see, but if I need to do anything to kind of promote the root system surviving over the winter, I can also put a bunch of rocks around the base of it, and then that will absorb the heat and keep the soil around it warmer, which will give it just that little extra boost that it needs in order to get through, say we have an extra cold winter or something like that. So thanks for being with us. Can't wait to see what it looks like as it grows. You guys have a wonderful day, plant something good, and stay blessed.